Hey everybody, this is James from TeaDB.
And this is Denny, bringing you guys episode 287.
Yeah.
Today we have W2T Pu'erh in 2018.
Yep, so this is one of their fancy pants pu'erhs, pretty expensive tea. I've tried it once and I didn't have a ton of conclusions other than it was quite strong. So we will see how it is.
Cool. And I'm getting a combo of individual leaves here, and then I'm going to try to grab just like, if I can, without breaking.
Yeah.
There we go.
Quick smell. You can always admire the W2T packaging.
Boink.
I don't know what this is of. Do you know what that photo's of? I'm not sure, actually.
Someone won a contest.
Some sort of reference to something hip.
Something.
Kids these days.
Yeah. Humbug. So this is a raw pu'erh tea from 2018.
Yeah.
So that often means insanity mode. Levels over 9,000 at least.
Yeah.
So according to James, this tea might actually deliver a little bit of some sort of over 9,000. W2Ts, their young pu'erhs, especially their young pu'erhs, tend to be quite palatable, sweet, and easy to drink when they're young.
And I don't think this is Iwu, so.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it is.
And I'm using maybe a little bit less leaf than James might. Actually, I might add a little bit more in there. It does have a really little bit of a fruity smell to it. Of course, all that young pu'erh goodness as well.
It does. A little bit of a woodsy, rustic feel to it.
Cool. And we are going to be on Mars after this one.
Yeah.
Sky high. I don't know. Yeah. W2T is one of those vendors that produces not the most volume of different cakes, but what they do produce tends to be a pretty good shot. So
Yeah. They tend to be a little bit more curated.
Yeah.
Produce a fewer or less things, do more blends than someone like Yvonne Sourcing would.
Right, in which case you're gonna kind of you might fare well in general with just anything you pick up from them, but always good to ask around, send an email, figure out what would work best for you.
And Denny, what's your methodology here for the brewing?
I have no idea.
Try not to die?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's all Greek to me, but no, I did 2 rinses there because I added some leaf.
Yeah.
Maybe to our detriment. Hopefully not.
Keeping it short?
Yeah, keeping the actual initial rinse steeps quite short here, especially because they're going to evolve into probably a fair ass kicking. And pour high-ish to cool things down. That's about it. Nothing complicated. Clear looking liqueur for sure. It has that really characteristic, these young raw pu'erhs always have that, well, not always, but quite often have that characteristic yellow.
Yeah.
Now, does that tend to be an indicator for you, James, when you're looking at teas, if you don't know anything about the tea in particular?
Well, it can indicate age, storage, that sort of thing for sure. We'd expect a tea like this to brew pretty yellow and clear and probably have quite a bit of high notes. And those to just sort of get muted a little bit depending on the age or the storage. So something that's 10 years old wouldn't be quite as floral or top noted as these teas.
Yeah. All of that makes sense to me. Let's go ahead and dive in.
Cheers.
Cheers. Definitely tell it's going to be a little bitter.
Yeah.
It's not quite.
Okay.
It's not bitter yet. Also a little bit of some like saltiness almost, like kind of oceanic stuff a little bit. I mean, far and above like those young raw flavors, so a little bit of petroleum-y.
A little mineral-y, actually. But yeah, it's definitely got that sort of raw pu'erh feel to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great texture already.
Yeah, I was going to say. You know, I don't know if you've heard of this, Denny, but someone told me the other day that it's like one great way to tell the texture is to just like lick the front of your teeth after you've had it. I was like, oh,
interesting.
I like that.
That actually might be a really good indicator. Yeah. Huh. Cool. Shout out to that person.
Yeah. Shout out to Nikki. And
Boom.
yeah, and
hello.
For us, it's like we're sort of getting our color baseline here. I think this is a little bit darker than the initial brew. So it sort of gives you your baseline level of bitterness, the first brew. So if this started to brew like a deeper, darker yellow, you would brace yourself. Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's bitter.
It has a little fruitiness though.
Yeah.
Like you can like. Here's the thing about this tea is, unlike a lot of their teas that I've had, this doesn't taste like it's gonna be at its prime right now. Some of these teas that they make, they're just like ready to drink immediately.
Sort of like the Iwus.
Yeah, precisely. So exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. Whereas this, it tastes interesting and good and oceanic and challenging and
you can tell it's
strong.
Got substance. Yeah.
Exactly. So like this is the kind of tea you're drinking now with the assumption that, wow, this is good material. Let's grab a cake and hang on to it for a decade.
So is this like a 1-year-old carrot kid where he's like acting like a little dick? He's throwing stuff around, causing a general ruckus. But you could tell he's going to be like a genius. Is that what this is?
He's going to grow up to be a strapping gentleman.
Unless you store him poorly. In that case,
right.
He might end up in jail.
Wow. Gosh.
These are not good
the analogies.
Advice. I'm just going to add that.
And I mean, look, I'm not being light at all on the leaf,
not at
so
all.
it's not like I'm doing us any favors. Look at how some of these leaves are quite big.
Yeah. And so W2T likes to do blends on their productions. So you can tell that the material is pretty good here. Kind of a mix of colors, actually.
Yeah. With some of the stems looking like a little bit darker. Yeah. More roasted.
But good, thick stem. Looking at these.
Still has a great aroma in the cup. Mom test.
No. I mean...
quick no on that.
The closest way you could get to the mom test on this is to use half the leaf, use lighter water, and just brew it like a green tea. And even then, why bother? Just brew a green tea.
I agree.
Yeah.
Agree entirely. This isn't the kind of tea that you can mistake for something else. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's strong, but there are still all of those hints of fruitiness, sweetness.
Yeah.
All right, phone, come on.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And you can tell the tea has very good depth to it.
Yeah.
It's got that thing, but it definitely, like, when you first sip it, it's just like, bam.
Exactly.
Bitter, yeah.
Yeah, it is bitter tasting. You know, what's really interesting is I think that a lot of people, for me especially, we get used to certain bitter notes that usually have dark associations, dark flavors, bitter coffee, chocolate, cacao. Yeah. This has a sort of verdant bitterness to it, something a little different. So for folks out there who might enjoy the bitter profile, which is sort of an acquired taste, some people like bitter flavors more than others. That's actually a genetic thing somewhat too, weirdly enough.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. But this is going to give you a bitterness that's quite unique in a lot of ways.
Right.
I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of crisp and maybe a little bit sweet in some sense, but strong.
And in tea, it's kind of counterintuitive, or at least counterintuitive to people that are more accustomed to coffee. As Denny said, it's like these ripe pu'erhs will usually not be particularly bitter at all, and those will brew a really nice dark color.
Yeah.
But this is the real bitter tea right here.
Indeed.
Yeah. And for me, I find that sometimes when I'm drinking a lot of raw pu'erh, then I can get really used to it and learn to tune out some of the bitterness.
Right.
But for me, this year, and the past couple of years, haven't been drinking too much young stuff. So the bitterness is just, bam.
Yeah, right.
Just hits so hard.
Yeah. I mean, if you were drinking these sorts of teas every day, I would imagine that you'd, sort of reach a new normal and...
Otherwise known as Super Saiyan.
I love you guys. For all you people out there who understand, God bless you. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is an ass kicker.
It's got a lot going on, though.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, it's pointing to a lot of really good stuff later. But right now it is harsh.
Yeah.
But yeah, revealing within a spectrum of flavors, lots of bright notes, still floral. I think this tea will probably age quite well.
Probably.
Yeah. But right now it is potent.
Yeah.
I'm not getting a lot of the sort of, sometimes with those raw pu'erhs you can get kind of like a deep, warming and all the sort of full body sensation. It still has a lot of those green notes. It still has a lot of the freshness to it. It's still kind of like up in my throat, basically.
Yeah.
And doesn't have a lot of those old, stanky and associated body feel vibes to it.
Does the bitterness sort of linger in your mouth for you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does, but it's probably just because we're so, inside of the space, but man, I don't find it bad. I think when I was starting out, I would be like, well, wow, it's intense, right?
Yeah.
And maybe not in the best way, but now it's just intense.
It is intense, yeah.
But in kind of a good way.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend folks try this out. Get a shot.
Yeah.
Also, try out some of the other Y2T.
Not every raw pu'erh is about just being sheerly intense and super strong.
Exactly.
You can definitely have teas that have, a sweeter element to them, more depth, more floral.
This is the Lucky Pup.
I think
it's a puppy.
It's puppy, I think.
Probably puppy.
Yeah.
But this is their 21804B recipe, whatever that means to them.
It's probably some sort of buying code.
I don't know. It could just be, it's meaningful in their sense of explaining the different sources and all that stuff.
Could be.
Regardless, this is a worthwhile investment to go try now and then try again in 5 years and again in 10 years.
Yeah.
They have other stuff that is definitely much more, I'd say, just straight up palatable first thing for the average mom out there.
Right, yeah. The average mom out there. Yeah. And there's, as I said, quite a range. It's try this. Don't assume this is representative of all young raw pu'erh.
Absolutely.
There are other teas that have sort of different appeals, but if you're looking to just drink something and get amped up, this could be the tea for you. Yeah. Don't have it on an empty stomach either.
100% agree with that.
But if you're gonna hit the club, look no further than the Lucky Puppy.
The Lucky Puppy.
Yeah.
And the Y2Ts, their teas actually were some of the first raw pu'erhs that I had that were young that opened up that category of delicious, soft, palatable, fresh, young raw pu'erhs.
Right.
So they're a really good place to look, I'd say, too. Of course, this is a more notable, maybe slightly off their normal sphere there, but...
Yeah. I mean,
potent.
Yeah. I think this blend clearly focuses on just being intense, strong. It's more focused. It's not focused on being a really nice, pleasant daily tea that you would. This is the opposite of a daily tea for me.
Yeah.
One that you need to plan ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, this is again a tea that is pointing to years down the line. In my
Yeah, I would rather drink this years down the line than right now. Yeah,
you're getting a taste and flavor for what's going on initially, but clearly this tea tastes like it needs some age.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, it's not it's just as fun to drink these teas when they're crazy spicy and intense now, and then to try them later, review our episode in 10 years.
Right. Also, some advice for those that are, since we are doing another steep here apparently, some advice for those that are trying to structure a tea session around younger tea and things like that. If you have the Lucky Puppy and you have one of those softer iwus, maybe the pound cake that Denny has had before.
And enjoyed.
Have the pound cake first. Do not have this and have the pound cake. You will not be able to taste much. This is a tea to either compare with another very strong tea or to finish the session with.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah.
Look at how
Ooh,
yellow
that is.
We are
strong.
We're about to get crunk.
Get our drink on.
I love it. I love doing this. This is so fun.
Yeah, welcome to the jungle.
Exactly. Salud.
Cheers. Ooh. That is so strong.
Yeah, that's strong.
That is bitter.
It's not bad though. It's really strong.
It's like some teas will be sort of like sweet and then astringent, but this is just like greets you with like a punch to the face. Yeah, it's not beat around.
All right. Well, we've enjoyed this episode. Shout out to W2T. Give them a Google. Subscribe to their newsletter. Subscribe to our newsletter. Subscribe to all the things. Subscribe to everything. Yeah. If it's a subscribe button, click it.
Yeah.
Click that bell icon. People say that now in YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That makes us more annoying. So
yeah. When we do another video, ding.
Exactly. If you like the episode, check us out on TeaDB.org for more content like this and a just huge variety of tea videos, tea articles, resources there. And we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.